Good morning, Major. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. So, for this session today, we are going to talk about your feelings and thoughts about going out in public into crowded places. Um, could you tell me a little bit about what's going on with that?
I'm still not comfortable in crowded environments.
Okay.
Um, Brings about different reactions, mentally
Okay.
and physically, but I'm just still not comfortable.
Okay. Could you talk about maybe a current situation or something that just happened with you going out?
I mean, a couple of different instances. I guess I could talk about commissary or restaurants, but in
Okay.
either situation, they both make me feel like I'm trapped, and therefore I start looking at ways I can either escape the situation in
Okay.
reality, meaning like exit points,
Okay.
or mentally, I try to escape.
What are your thoughts on that? Like, what is making you feel that way? Is it too many people? Is it enclosed? What's going on? What's your thoughts?
Both people, I can't trust people, so I'm always looking for someone that has a bomb strapped to them, or a way that if someone comes into the
Excuse me.
complex and is firing or shooting, I have to make sure I have a egress route or a way out, and
Excuse me.
I know I have my family with me, so I'm worried about them as well. So it's just I kind of look at it differently now than when I went to combat the first time.
Okay. So, can you tell me about your reactions to that? Like, what are you feeling? Like,
Well, I'm
or what's
dependent.
going on with you? Your physical reaction.
I get hot, almost like I can feel my body warming up. So, and then mentally, my brain starts racing. Like I said, I look for, almost look at it like from a mission perspective. I
Okay.
get breathing heavy, anxiety. I lose interest in the
Okay.
situation. I want
Okay.
to leave.
Okay, I understand. Now, if um does that affect how if does that affect when excuse me, does that affect you being able to function like you just don't want to go out anymore or what are your thoughts on actually going out and doing things with your family?
I still go out. It's just not as enjoyable.
Okay.
So I can do it, but it's a process.
Does your family know that you're going through this?
Um, Probably maybe a little bit, but not all. Not really. I don't really burden them with it.
Okay, so what do you do in that situation, like when you were there at the commissary? What did you do when you started feeling that anxiety?
Um, I try to calm myself. For one, I try to just tell me where I'm at, and I'm not where I was. So that allows me to kind of calm down, or I exit the situation, and I'll go out to a car or go sit outside.
Excuse me.
If I'm at home, I'll go out in the backyard just to get in the space.
Okay, okay. So, when you're having these intrusive thoughts, do you feel like you're back in Afghanistan or you have the feeling like you're back there?
Yeah, sometimes,
Okay.
not always, but yes, sometimes.
So, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about just that anxiety and those thoughts, and then just finding ways to just feel a little more grounded. So, if you think about those intrusive thoughts, we all kind of experience them where we're kind of lose touch with reality. Have you ever experienced where you're driving somewhere, but then you end up somewhere else? Like maybe you're driving to a store and then you end up at your job. And then you're like, okay, how did I get here? Or if you're driving and you're daydreaming and then you realize you've driven several miles and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that happened. Have you ever experienced that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very normal. A lot of people experience it. We all experience it. So, what you're going through when you're feeling what you're feeling at the commissary or restaurants or out in public, it's kind of the same thing where you're kind of not in touch with reality. You're kind of feeling or going through the same processes. And what you need to do is, in that very moment, is to figure out a way to come back to reality, to not allow those thoughts to be so intrusive and to make you feel the way that they're making you feel. So the ways that you can address that, like you said, being calm and trying to figure out a way to be calm, those are really, really good things to do. And what I'm trying to help you with is finding ways for you to feel more grounded. So you said you feel calm. Like, what do you do? When you're trying to get calm at the commissary restaurants? What are you actually doing to do that?
Deep breaths, like you just got to calm down. You take a deep breath. You think about it. Really, it's breathing. Honestly, kind of maintaining my breathing and kind of calming myself to where I am, and I'm not in a hostile environment.
So, are you breathing when you start feeling that anxiety? Do you have rapid breaths? Like, are you breathing?
Yes.
Pretty fast? Okay. So with this grounding technique, what it does is helps to bring that person back in contact with the present moment in the form of like sensory stimulation. So, trying to figure out, breathing is great. I think that's an outstanding grounding technique. I will talk a little bit more about breathing techniques and types of breathing that help to calm you down. But also think about, your different sensory stimulation, how you can use your five senses to help you calm down as well. Like different smells could calm you down, or different touch textures. If you had a stress ball in your pocket and you started feeling that anxiety, that maybe you can squeeze and your focus could go to that stress ball. Or different textures in your, like some people have different like foam in their pockets and they feel that. Or some people carry mints in their pocket. And maybe when you go into these places, you associate that mint with, keeping your thoughts there where you are and grounded. And so you keep mints in your pocket. And when you start feeling that, then you have a mint or a candy that helps you stay grounded. Or sometimes just visualizing being in a happy place. But really just trying to stay focused and grounded so that you won't go into that anxiety phase. And then I really just want to talk to you about your breathing. You say that when you start breathing, you're breathing rapidly in your chest. You feel that. And so what that type of breathing is more like a stress breathing, where your patterns are very shallow, and that makes you feel more tense. And so what I want to help you with as far as grounding techniques is, have you heard of belly breathing?
I have not.
So belly breathing is it's diaphragmatic breathing, which helps to correct shallow breathing, and it takes place in the in the lower lungs, and it really uses your entire lung capacity, where shallow fast breathing takes place in the upper lungs. So what you do is you focus on when you inhale, bringing that air into your lower lungs, like into your belly. You can almost see your belly like inflate, it gets bigger, and really just taking that long inhale and taking that long breath, and then exhaling slowly. And then when you kind of master that belly breathing, when you're in those situations, just pausing at the end of that inhalation, just take a pause and then exhale. And then just that breathing technique will help to calm you down, and it'll help to focus you. And it's just a way of grounding and helping you in those situations. So have you ever done like yoga?
No.
Have you thought about yoga?
No.
A lot of soldiers that are going through this type of anxiety try to find things that help them to calm down, and yoga is one of those things, with the meditation, the breathing techniques, and things like that. So really it's about knowing that you have these thoughts, knowing that you have these reactions, and then finding ways to help you stay grounded, finding ways to help you calm down so that you can go out and enjoy what you're doing, enjoy your family, and enjoy your environment without feeling that anxiety. So I want you to just work on that this week, so that next week we can talk about it. Try to do something maybe where there's not a lot of people. Schedule something where maybe there's fewer crowds, so that you can focus on these grounding techniques. So is that okay?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.